Hi again guys, I'm back with another unboxing. I presume this is one from cubes.com, so let's get into it and see what it is first before I tell you a bit of the backstory. I might have uploaded the first part of this video with this. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it yet, but we'll see. Yeah, I can see it is, so that's good. Okay, so I ordered hope I haven't just shown you my address there. I ordered a couple of a couple of the Dayan Bermudaminxes, which this will be as well. As you've seen in the rest of my videos, you'll know that I love these puddles. I ordered the Earth and the Mercury in my last order from Cubes.com. I got the Earth just fine. I opened the Mercury, it was unstickered, it had a Mercury sticker in the box. I opened it up, started stickering it and realised it's actually the wrong one. It was actually a Neptune. So I contacted Cubes.com and it turns out the Mercury is now sold out, and looking on other web stores it seems it's sold out everywhere. So fingers crossed I can find one, because I'd like to get the whole series if possible. But it looks like on every online store the Mercury is sold out at the moment, which is a shame. But anyway, so they'd sold out the Mercury. They offered me a refund. I said, well, no. Instead of that, if you've got the Mars or the Uranus version, I'd be happy to take that instead. Of course, I haven't got those, and I want them anyway. So which one this is? It's Uranus. So I haven't actually seen anybody else have this one version yet, so I don't actually know what the format is. So let's see what we've got. We've got okay, so we've got 4 special faces, and they're all adjacent to each other, which is interesting. So I don't know how hard that's going to be to solve. I suspect it's not going to be as difficult as, say, the Neptune version or even the Earth version, because you've got the difficulty comes with these when you get to the final layer more than anything else. Whereas the others, they can be quite time consuming to insert the lower pieces. Say I started on, I'm looking at perhaps the light yellow face starting at the moment. So inserting all these edge pieces and corner pieces around these special faces can be quite tricky, but it's not overwhelmingly so. With F12 techniques and things, you soon figure out how to insert the pieces. But when you get to the final layer, you need to use your kind of basic Megaminx algorithms, but the special faces are the things that block some of that from happening. But if you can sort of find a way of doing it, then it makes things a bit easier. But if you've got lots of the special faces around there, then that makes things more difficult. So I don't think this one's going to be too difficult in the series. It's going to be interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong, I thoroughly enjoy solving all of these puzzles, and I'm sure this will be no different, which is why I want the entire set. But yeah, I don't expect this one to be among the most challenging, but I could be wrong, of course. I have been many times in the past, so don't take my word on things like that as gospel. So let's scramble this thing up and see what it looks like in its scrambled state. As with all these Bermudaminxes, you get a lot of bandaging where the faces aren't oriented correctly. So I mean, that's what makes them difficult. Like right now, I can not turn the orange face because this grey face at the point of this trapezoid is blocking that. So I have to do a slight turn to get this cut lined up with the orange face, and then I can turn that. So basically, that's the if you haven't seen any videos on these puzzles, that's the difficulties you get with them, is a lot of blocking from other faces, so you end up having to do a lot of setup moves. I still think the Jupiter was the most interesting for that. Actually, you had to do so many setup moves. There was so many faces that blocked each other on that one. It wasn't the most difficult one to solve, but the setup moves were quite interesting to have to remember sometimes. I did actually screw up the solving on that a couple of times because I forgot my sequence of setup moves. But yeah, if you haven't tried these puzzles, I definitely recommend give them a go. Not for beginners, that's for sure, but yeah, they're a whole lot of fun. They really are. Without a doubt, some of the most fun puzzles I've solved. So, given my vast array of puzzles, that's quite a compliment, I think. Now this one, I can tell straight away, has actually got quite a bit of blocking going on, so it might be a bit more interesting than I at first said, but we'll see when I get into solving it. And as with all the others, the turning quality is absolutely fine, but it's slightly stiff, which is seems to be standard for the series, to be honest. But what you'll find is, like there, now that grey face should turn, but it wasn't quite lined up just right. You end up looking around, okay, what's not lined up properly, sort of thing. You think something is blocked rather than not quite lined up, because it's sort of very, very little corner cutting, if any, on these. I think the stiffness, I mean, I haven't actually tried lubing it. I really should, to be honest, just to see if it makes any difference. But I think a lot of the stiffness comes to the fact that it's slightly fudged, which means they've kind of altered the geometry slightly from what would be a standard Megaminx to try and get things to be able to rotate properly with the all the different shaped pieces that there are on this. Because that's the only way to get it to work. I can't get those pieces split up. Right, there we go. There we go. I think I know there's something there that needs to be done. So yeah, there, I don't want to turn the pink face, but I can't because I need to turn the grey face. I wanted to turn the red face, but I couldn't because I needed to turn the pink face. And I wanted to turn the white face, but I couldn't because I needed to turn the red face first. So again, lots of setup moves required there. But yeah, I think that's about scrambled now. I'll go away and solve it and get back to you when I've done so. Alright then, so the Uranus Bermudaminx is now solved again. Not too difficult, pretty much as expected. The trickiest part was where you've got the three special faces adjacent to each other, getting the pieces in around those three was probably the trickiest part of the solve. Once again, with having all the experience on the other Bermudaminxes, definitely helped with the solving of this. If you came at this as your first Bermuda Megaminx, I think you'd not struggle, but you'd find it more difficult than I probably did, just simply because I've solved quite a few of them now, and you definitely gain some, experience along the way of how to deal with these pieces through the solving of them, like you would expect. But yeah, it's got all the same traits as all the other puzzles in the series. It turns okay, but it's a little bit stiff. I think, as I said in the previous video, there's probably something to do with the fudging, which is basically kind of a slight alteration of the geometry to make things able to turn as they need to. But the turning quality is absolutely fine, but you've got very, very little in the way of corner cutting, so things have to be lined up quite well, and you often find that you'll try and turn a face and it won't turn, so you're looking around trying to figure out which one's got a special face bandaging in it, and it turns out none of them are. You just haven't got things quite lined up before you try to turn it. But other than that, it's great quality. As you probably noticed by now, I love these puzzles. I intend to get the full set, and so yeah, I enjoyed this one very much, the solving of it as well, and I'll enjoy solving it again in the future numerous times, I'm sure. Alright then guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Alright, just a quick follow up on this Uranus puzzle. I realised after I'd finished recording the rest of the video that it's actually had the wrong colour scheme on it. Completely different to the way it should be according to the MF8 pictures of the layouts of all these different puzzles. It had grey and white swapped, and basically the entire poles were backwards, and they went around the puzzle in the wrong direction, the colours that were next to each other. So thankfully I had a whole load of stickers left over from sticking the other puzzles that I've got. Of course, they give you kind of a double set of each. The ones that come on stickered, you've got an entire kind of Fisher style face, an entire kind of regular face, and one each of the special centres on every colour. So I had enough just about to re-sticker this puzzle, thankfully. I've had to reuse some of the stickers, like the purple, so they're not absolutely perfect. There's a few little air bubbles in them because they've been reused. But for the most part, it's fine. It's only noticeable if you look closely, and I much prefer to have it the proper colour scheme, because then it matches all my other puzzles in the series, so they look better on the shelves as much as anything else. So yeah, just wanted to let you know to, I don't know, maybe look out for that if you buy these puzzles, because I'm a bit anal in that way, I suppose. It doesn't solve the change the solving process in any way, so it doesn't affect anything in any real way or anything. But yeah, they certainly should be stickered correctly, really, by the people who've done it. But anyway, it's now the right way around. So yeah, I just wanted to follow up with that. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time, guys.